You start.
I would say maybe Connect. I know it's from Aragon, but OneHive has been maintaining the repo lately. So yeah, I would say Connect.
And intentions for the call?
I would like to discuss the latest work on the Toolkit that I've been making and the Commons Operate script also. I'll pass it to Pablo.
Hey guys. What? I'm not sure about the question, because maybe I can like the only thing I know is the onboarding wizard by now, so probably that would be a good answer. It's not finished, but it's going to be cool. What more can I say? I'll pass. I have to. Well, I'm just here for thinking. Pass it to Griff.
The question is, what software do you like more from OneHive?
What swarm do I like the most?
What software? What software?
Piece of tech.
Oh, what piece of work do I love the
Piece
most
of
from OneHive?
software, only software.
Software. Piece of software. Of course I'm a little biased about conviction voting, but at the same time they used common pool instead of funding pool, so no, I take it back. No, I'm just kidding. The faucet, dude. I love the UBI. That's so cool. Like that was the Bright ID integration for UBI. I think that was magical. It didn't necessarily work out all that great eventually, but like, and I don't know why it didn't continue. Does it still get funding? Like, I really hope it does.
No, it's not. It needs people who is doing proposals in order to send honey to it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and does it still have honey in it or no?
Yeah, very little. People is just stopped claiming because
there's like 1.2 honey left.
Man, I love it. I love it so much. And as far as intention and agenda topics, make sure the vote passes. Any updates from the community that are relevant to us, and of course, hearing your guys' thoughts on like the board and updates and what's the plan for the week. I really hope that we can get the hatch done.
I am taking notes in a HackMD because I never know where the Google Doc is. I will share the notes in the Commons group, in the Commons channel here.
Thanks. I'll pass it to Chewy. Did you go?
No, not yet. Intentions, sync with what you guys are doing. When you get together, there's usually like a bunch of progress, so try to follow up with that. And as far as my favorite OneHive software, I think I'm really liking Gardens. I'm really liking the direction of it. I know that it's not ready yet, but I feel that is like a big just collection of like little pieces like along the way, and I really looking forward to Gardens. I pass it to Vitor.
I'm pretty new to the OneHive system, but I would say conviction voting. I think it's great. And as far as agenda topics, I'd like to talk a little bit about the conference and hear all the other projects that are running. And as to
Thank you, Vitor. Oh, my mic is getting some problems. I could mute. Yeah, I'm amazed. Like no one's talk about Celeste. Like I think this is super cool. Like like have the Decentralized jurors? Oh yeah, this is awesome. And conviction voting, I think it's super cool too. Yeah, my intention is just to sing and get the recording done, and I don't have any distraction. I'll pass it to Paul Chu.
Wait a sec, Vitor. I didn't get your intentions because your mic was cute, or I didn't hit it. Can you repeat?
Can you hear me now? Let me try.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better now?
Much better,
Okay.
actually.
Intentions are to just talk a little bit about the convert and the issues left, and then hear about the projects.
Paul?
So I'm helping out with gardens at One Hive, so I'm hoping to get to come in on these meetings a little more regularly because I want to get a better idea of kind of how launch is going and just learn as much as possible before we're launched, and trying to recruit other communities to get on board. So that's my goal here. I'm biased with my favorite One Hive software. It's absolutely Gardens. I think Gardens is like maybe a game-changing concept for all of cryptocurrency and the world, really. I think it's as cool as it gets in crypto. Yeah, and also I guess my other intent is just to make it even more confusing when people say Paul or Pavel or Paulo. Just add as many Paul type names to the mix as possible. Is there anyone who hasn't gone yet? I think I might be the last one.
Well,
I
I just
didn't
want
go.
to say, okay, I wanted to say my middle name is Paul, so I might have to change my screen name and just bring it in. Okay, go ahead, Sam.
Nice.
Okay. Intentions for the call, show the models I've been doing. Progress on common upgrade script, probably Paulo is going to cover it. If I have something else, I will add it. And I like the issuance model. I like gardens, but one of the things that is take a lot of interest for me is the issuance model. I think that I am still understanding it. I think that nobody had modeled it before, and I am learning interesting things of it. And I am also interested in understanding much better how it works, because the implementation as it is doesn't give you, it is not clear how the issuance is going to go through the future, because it's something like that is called regularly. I will show you later. I think that everybody has gone, so we can start with the toolkit. Probably you want to go, Paulo?
Sure. So this last week, I've been working on creating basically a library to improve the way we make like the UVM scripts that we send to voting apps to, for example, get money from the vault or install new apps, or for example, do the migration of the DAOs in the hatch. Sam was helping me to create the library. We already got a couple of functions, like for example, a function to forward actions to the voting to create the votes, for example, to install a new app. And also have functions to create permissions following like a permission table. Like you send a table to the library and it creates like every function called to the ACL to create the permission. So I'm finishing the last details. We have some kind of problems with the library, but I hope I can have it for this week. I think Sam was thinking about showing you guys a piece of pseudocode, I think, so you guys can know how can we use this library. And yeah, I also been working on other stuff. I comment on that later, but yeah. So the library is almost finished, and once we have this basic functionality, we can call the method with the Commons upgrade script, basically.
Yeah, I will share this later, the piece of code. Basically, we are going to use this library today in order to do the vote of the migration that failed last time because I messed up with the DAO. Well, as we had it right now, you had to write a lot of different addresses for each application and configure a kind of EVM script with the functions, and it was not so good. So good. And this library already has everything inside of it, so it will avoid this kind of errors in the future. So this is why it's interesting to be doing this with that vote that failed last time. And yeah, today is the day. So let's see what else do we have. Do you have something to say about the Commons upgrade script, Paulo? Or that's because you have covered the library, but regarding the Commons upgrade?
Yeah, I mean, we have the specification ready. I talked about that on the previous meeting. So it's on a HackMD that I think we share on the Commons channel, Commons Swarm channel. So, but apart from that, I don't think I have nothing else to say.
Okay. The vote for today, it's already there. So Chui has already voted, and we need to. I also voted, so probably 2 more people. I don't know if it's 3 people or 4. If you can vote. There is also an important thing.
It's 4.
We are not. We just spent 300 dice last week. Probably we are not putting all the hours. So please, people, including me, which I am not doing that. But we have to put the hours there because we are working. We are not. Please take funds from the common pool. Okay. So other news from the community, probably Griff is also wanting to know about gardens and Celeste sometimes, right?
Yep, that's right. Gardens, Celeste, and Honeypot. Like if there's any active issues with actual One Hive stuff.
Okay. The only thing that I can say is that they have hired a product manager, something like that. So last time that we went in the call, Gabby was being helped with a friend of him that is used to do this kind of processes, and it was not so bad actually. I was thinking that. By the way, it's still a board and keeping track of everything, and Gabby is kind of bored with that. He's saying that, but this process has been implemented in Gardens, and this week we are working on the onboarding.
What's the name of the product manager?
It is Anna. No, she's totally new to the space. She's a friend of Gabi. And
A-N-A, Anna?
ANA probably. N ANA P something like that. I don't remember now. But by the way. Yeah, that's the that's the thing that we are doing. We are going to. There is some kind of coordination with the issuance modeling and the conviction voting modeling. I didn't get that the disputable voting was also something that Commons Swarm has been working. The params section of Commons Swarm has been working. So maybe it's also interesting to coordinate in that aspect. The wireframes of gardens are already there, but they are not implemented in its perfect form. Like Fiore still needs to. She's working on those. So the requests are the comments are open in order to change things. I already have some comments to do to some of the pages, some of the parts, and it's still open to submit changes. So I know Griff wants to change some of the names, and you already have some group open with some people, with Mitch and with Gabi. So I guess that this is the moment.
Yeah.
So these are
it's
the.
happening. And it was great that they had a board that I could go in and make comments on and make links to relevant hackmds that we're working on and keep it all organized.
Okay. So next topic is the board. Today Bradley couldn't come. He told me that we will be in contact during this week, but he could not come today. So let's if we can let it to the end, and so we can discuss a bit more about TC convert and the models that I have been working, and then at the end of the call we work on the board.
Yeah.
So TC convert. Vitor, would you like to start with it?
Yeah. I created the pull request. I think you merged, right, for the network API for supporting the change. So it's okay, right? And
Yes.
okay. And I've been working adapting the new bonding curve, but I'm facing a few problems. I think we could have another call to work on this. Not sure like if it's already done. But the idea on the support network API is that now if you enter with the wrong chain, it automatically changes for you. And if you don't have it on your MetaMask, it adds for you. I think you're running locally.
Yes, I still have to merge. Wait a sec. What something is wrong
I
here.
think it's live already because you merged, right?
Yeah.
By the way, do you have automatically deploy? I'm not sure.
I am pulling now.
Nice. But other than that, the adapting the new bonding curve, I'm not sure if the contracts are ready for that, but I'm facing a few problems trying to do this, and I think another call may work. But
okay. By the way, there is another change that Nugan did. That is, if you remember, we had a lot of text here, over here, and now it is all synthesized into one TC is equal to whatever X dice, and if you ask for it, you see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you ask for it, it tells you what is the exit tribute, which is the minimum received. So everything is right here. Let's see if now it works. Okay, this is your change. Do you see this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, then you can switch the network for the XI, and if you don't have the chain, it adds to you as well, to your MetaMask. Anyway,
Nice.
besides that, yeah, I'm facing a few problems with the bonding curve app, but I think it's more because there is like a lot of things in there that for connecting everything. And I think we can have a quick call and finish. You can help me with it, and especially like, sorry, what?
I was just you can finish your thought, and then I want to make sure we don't get off this topic until a call is scheduled.
Oh yeah. And no, yeah, just that. And then other than that, the other issues that we have on the convert are mainly static. Besides the bonding curve, the stats page, and I need to talk to market to check out how is it gone to implement it, and that's it.
Okay, this connects with the simulations in some way. When do you would like to have this call? I can today, one hour after this call.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So it will be 22 p.m. here in Spain. Okay. So we can check it out now. Okay. Another thing that can be interesting is to check out the bonding curve calculator that I have been modeling. So this is the initializer. Do you still see everything, or because I don't know if I can make it bigger?
I can see.
Yes, I can see it, yeah.
Okay. So we have the reserve ratio, the initial supply and initial balance. Griff was right that if we have an initial balance, we cannot define we can only define or the initial price or the reserve ratio. And I have been testing with both of those, and the most intuitive one is reserve ratio, because if you set up a specific initial balance, an initial price, then it is very difficult to configure. Really, it is not intuitive at all. But reserve ratio is magic.
Well, intuitive in which way, though? What do you mean? It's not intuitive to set up for the Python work?
No, it is
Because
not.
like it's much more intuitive as a user to be like, oh, what price do I want to open? What profit do I want to give the hatchers? Is a very intuitive question to ask.
Yes, but this is here, as you can see. It's an output that is very clear. But with this, you are changing the shape of the curve, and it reacts very, very well because you see how it's changing. But with the setting up a price, there are some prices that are impossible because the line starts to be. It is not as good, really. I can.
But it's not as good on the math side. I hear that for sure, 100%. But then we have to explain to the user what a reserve ratio means, and that is not as good on the user experience side.
I think that reserve ratio is exactly shape of the curve. Curvature.
That worked out great for slope.
We can talk about that tomorrow in the params call, probably, because it's more related with tomorrow's call. I just wanted to share the progress on this. So this is the initializer, and then when it's already initialized, let's imagine that right now we have a different supply than the initial supply, and we are here, and this is the new price. And you can check out the current price based on the current supply. It is not moving because I have to execute it. So it's moving along with the initial supply if we move it. And this is something that Griff was sketching in some paper. That is, what happens if I buy or I sell? I have to execute it, sorry. What happens if I buy, for example, some amount of tokens? You can see how the point is moving in regards of the current supply. And if you sell, you can also see which is going to be the new price. And I still need to add some more variables here, such as the sleep ads and these kind of things. But this is more or less the maths that are needed. And
entry tribute, exit tribute
exactly
would be cool. Like,
yes.
And then like, amount of funding to the funding pool.
Yep. And
that's super cool. So this could basically be the back end for both the Commons dashboard and the stats page.
Yes, we have to change the Python into JavaScript and the graphs with JavaScript, but yes. I don't know how you are going to do the Commons dashboard. Are you still thinking on doing Python?
Yeah, I think so. Right, Vitor?
Yeah, we could use Dash. There is basically like you could Python, but it's built on top of React, so the final result would be the same as doing React, but then you can use Python. It's easier to integrate, but we can do it in JavaScript as well. But I think it's going to be easier and more straightforward to do in Python.
Yeah, the thing is that for the TSC convert, it's better not to have a backend. It's better to just have grab the data from the graph if it's needed, but mostly use JavaScript. And this is very simple, so we can set it with JavaScript because really it's very simple.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward.
Okay, so this is the news in regards of the bonding curve calculator. I have also been simplifying the conviction voting. We had this initial spaceship panel that it's very useful for people who already understands conviction voting and wants to understand it completely, but I think that it's not the best idea to put it inside a wizard in which they are already asking you for a covenant, the token price, and a lot of different things. So I would go just with 2 graphs and 3 parameters. And this is how I don't have it here because I have it in the simplified version, in the 2 version. I also know that Griff have some. I don't know if Griff or in the params group you have been working on different stuff regarding that. So we might want to integrate it. I don't know.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, this is in some way this is conviction growth and threshold formula. And this is some advanced thing that it's interesting, but not that much. It is working for when there is people who want to abstain, these kind of things, but it's too advanced in my opinion. So I don't know where I have it. This is the simplified version, right?
Can you read what the parameters are and what the axes of the graphs are?
Yes. You need glasses. This is this is time, days, right? So it goes from 0 to 20. And this is conviction, percentage of conviction. So you need around 8% of conviction in order to pass a request of 5% of the funding pool in this particular setting. But if you extend the half-life, then it's going to take a little bit more. And if the max ratio, which is it appears in the other graph. The other graph is amount of funds requested and the percent of the conviction that it's needed. So if you want to ask for very few funds, you need 2.5%, which is being set here in mean threshold. If you set it up much higher, for example 6%, then you can see here that it's 6% what is needed.
Is that set with infinite time basically? Is that like the minimum or what?
No. Mean threshold is like weight or the row that you had in.
Oh, so it's set in conviction.
Yes.
Threshold percent. It's like percent of total possible conviction.
Yes. In percent of total possible conviction. And then there is this maximum that it's about 8%, because there is this asymptote here that it's at 10%. If you extend it to 30%, it still have the same shape, more or less, if you can see. The shape is the same, but the x-axis is changing. So it's very interesting to see that in order to understand much better how conviction parameters react.
No, this is great. I mean, for the params group, we're just gonna want to change words and like add fluff on top. But this is the heart of the machine, you know.
Okay, the parameters that are able to select are these three ones, and this is more like a demo thing. That it's not actually a parameter. It's what happens if you are requesting a different amount. And then if you want to select the fourth parameter, which is
minimum effective supply.
See, yes, it is not here. Mean active stake percentage.
It doesn't need to be there. It's a pretty mediocre parameter. As far as the parameter pecking order, man, that thing's way in the back.
Mean active stake percentage. Yeah, the requested is here. It's not that mediocre, but yeah, it's very difficult to explain. Interesting, by the way. I don't want to take so much time, so I will already go for the issuance modeling that it's been worked in Gardens. Just to share with you how it looks like, the issuance in OneHive.
I want to say that, can we keep it to like 60 seconds so we can make sure to discuss our priorities for the week?
Yes. So this is how it looks like. When you are asking funds from the funding pool, the funds come back to the funding pool slowly, very fast at the beginning and then slowly. And if there is some funds that come into the funding pool, then they are burned in order to get this target ratio. This is how it works. It is not perfect, as you will see in the final modeling, and I think that it could be improved by token engineering. So this is it. Let's recap. Okay, board is the last point. So
cool.
Do you want to share? I don't like the board. Can you share your screen?
We don't have to go into the board. We can even skip the board. But at least let's talk about priorities for the week. Because it's like the hatch is very close to happening. It seems like it could happen within 10 days. And so there's some hatch priorities that at least Sam and I were chatting about that seem really critical. First one is getting Adria's sign off. What is needed to get Adria's sign off?
We have this vote because it's a kind of, okay, let's do a full test of everything, and then let's see that everything is as it should be. It should be, I mean, everything is tested, but the connection with all the parts, Adria didn't have the chance to see the template, to review the template. So this is what I would like that he reviews, just to have another pair of eyes, fresh eyes into it. And it should be quick, but we need this vote to pass, and then give Adria all the information about all that has happened into this DAO migration, in order for him to review that everything is fine. So
that's like getting the vote out today seems like the most. That's like the most critical thing.
Yes,
time-wise, because it takes 3 days.
Yes, and after it passes, write a forum post explaining how all the process has been working, so he can review. That's the idea.
And then wasn't there something about permissions that he has to review?
Yes, but it's already present in the DAOs that we have created, so I will not bother about this. It's more like in this same forum post I can explain these are the permissions of the old DAO and they correspond to the template.
Is that forum post kind of just rehashing the spec? Like the spec that we wrote already? Can you just copy and paste that and numbers?
No, it's more like, let's see which is the reality, and then you can compare it with the spec. That's the point. Let's describe the reality, and then let's see if that corresponds with the spec.
So do we need to also update the spec with the current parameters?
I think that it's already updated because there is this last post in the spec that is updating it. So it should not be it should not be a problem. It's already in its latest stage.
Okay, perfect. Well, what I know you said you and Paulo were gonna work on getting the vote out tonight, like using the library as like a prototype.
Yes.
Is it if it doesn't work with the library, if you run into blockers, is it possible to just do it without the library since it's such a blocker?
We already did that before. We just want to test the library, but it's we can do that without the library, of course.
Okay. I mean, yeah, let's test the library. But just in case, it would be amazing to score these 8 hours tonight. I know it's late already for you guys, but okay, that's easy. And then the other big thing is getting one more demo out so that we can have a successful community demo. Is there and also more engagement around it? What do you guys think do you think that's possible, Sam? And when would we be able to do a demo, basically get it launched on Wednesday?
This Wednesday, yeah, probably. Maybe we can even use the library in order to launch everything. Yeah, I am. Paulo is laughing. Yes, of course. Let's have it on. I mean, normally it takes a lot of. It's super manual, and it's like, oh shit, another one. But with the library, probably it's going to be more fun because we can grab the applications from the blockchain with Connect and all that stuff, and it's going to be more first more reliable, and second, it's going to be more reliable for future stuff. So probably it worth the time to use the library for improving the hatch template. And this means that we will wait a little bit more into the Commons upgrade script. Probably we can leave it for next week, since this weekend we are going to be traveling. I guess that let's put the scope on, let's have the hatch with the library full. Let's close the hatch this week. That's all. And just having in mind that this library has to be used also for the Commons upgrade.
Yeah. So those are the two. Is there anything else that would stop us from being hatch ready?
I also would like to know the video that we have. Can we use a video that is the final video that we are going to use for the hatch? I know that Chui was working on the animation video, but I don't know which state it is. And if not, I will really ask, can we use the community video because I like it so much? Chui?
Yes, we can use it, but just give me this week for doing like a proper like campaign plan around it, and like have a launch and everything, and right after it's available, we can surely embed it in the hatch front page.
So you don't think we can put it in the demo on Wednesday or Thursday, basically? I mean, is there a chance that it could be out by? I mean, is it possible to launch that community video by Thursday?
I can upload it like in like unlisted, and it can be embedded in other sites, and it could be like as a limited release, like let's say, and after that, maybe like next week, start tweeting about it and share like make it available in the YouTube channel. So yeah, I'll take care of that uploads and send it to you. Yeah, give me some hours and I'll do it today.
That's very good. So we will forget about the animation video. Didn't it go through?
Oh no, the animation video is still in production. But yeah, I mean, let's the community video is ready, so let's start taking some benefits out of it while we finish with the production for the animated video, which is gonna serve like a much more specific purpose once like we open the hatch. And yeah, so the community video helps.
Okay. Okay, so that's everything, I guess.
Nice. There's no other blockers for the hatch?
I guess that everything was working fine. I mean, I just messed up with the DAO where we were sending the money, but it has already worked before. It's just we need the review of Adrian. That's all.
Cool. Okay, great. Then that's it. Yeah.
I wanted to add an agenda topic.
Yes, sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I saw your message, but then I just forget about it.
It's okay. Well, I had a question like regarding the whole Arbitrum discussion. Could we talk about it like a little bit? Like, what if like all of One Hive is no longer on Nextdie? What if like Gardens starts getting built on like in Arbitrum? Like yeah, just like some doubts that I had. Probably you'll be like more aware of the implications. So yeah, the whole discussion on Arbitrum.
I don't have any idea of anything, but maybe Griff.
I mean, I know on the XDie side. What's funny is I know more about what's going on the XDie side than the OneHive side. There's definitely some talks of working with Gnosis and DAppNode and trying to push like more of an ETH2 staking roadmap, like following the ETH2 scaling solution for XDie. But like, you know, they're just talks, so who knows if they're real or not. Probably not. Who knows, right? And then on the OneHive side, I have no idea what OneHive's. Chewy, can you tell us about? I mean, I know Arbitrum's the ZK optimistic ZK rollup, like do it yourself. Are you saying that OneHive wants to make their own chain and make it be or its own rollup off of Ethereum?
Let me see. I'll pass you the post. Will J. Griff
Does anyone else
made it?
Does anyone else know anything about it?
I've been following the conversation, at least in OneHive. I don't think anything is decided yet. The things that are being talked about are like it sounds like people generally support the idea of moving to Arbitrum, but the concerns are, first of all, the moving, like which parts of the ecosystem would move over to Arbitrum. Like, does Celeste need to move? And like one of the things that we're trying to avoid is being split over multiple chains, especially since we have the Honey governance token, and the more chains that we're on with that, the more problems we run into with just being spread too thin. So it's being talked about, and I think OneHive would definitely appreciate any input that you guys have. There's a channel called Arbitrum in OneHive where this is being talked about. So it would help to hear what you guys think about that.
I also asked in Gardens, and they were thinking that the path to go is to deploy Celeste in the different places. But I just wanted to know what was the idea, and they said, yeah, the current it's been discussed, but the current idea that it's more clear is that we will have to deploy Celeste in many places. So in order, it's also, yeah, of course, it's a concern how much the community is going to be split, and at the same time it's interesting that the community expands to other chains. So I don't know. I would like to show you a little bit the API of the toolkit that Paulo and me are working on. So it's more similar to maybe I am changing the topic so quick, but this is some part of the stuff that we were talking about before, and the idea is that you can provide to a function the path of DAOs that you have to go. So, for example, for the vote on the migration from the Hatch template to the Commons template, you need to ask the tollgate, to ask the Dandelion voting, to ask the migration tools beta, to migrate. And this is how it will be written right now in the library. And well, in order to migrate, you have to send the actually it's the topics are the parameters are different. But by the way, more or less this is the idea. You put here the parameters, and this creates a bot. This is what we are working right now, which is very much easier to use this than what we had before. But still, it's not the best experience for anybody who has a DAO. But really, this is going to be fantastic for all the use cases in Aragon that we have in XDAI and for OneHive. It's going to, as it is right now, this how it is, it's going to be fantastic. But in the future, we can also have a kind of interface that allows you to select the applications that you want to install with the parameters that you want and the permissions, and put all into just one vote that is voted, and creates, it's like a kind of seed that opens and creates all the stuff that you want to bring to a DAO. But until we reach to this point, we will have this kind of API, which is much better. Because until now it was like 20 lines or 30 lines of code with embedded addresses, and it was so bad. Really, it was so bad. So yeah. For me, we can leave it here. I don't know if somebody else would like to bring a last minute topic, and if not, we can just start working this week. Okay, if not, see you next time.